Hi, this is Hippocrates and you are watching a demonstration of batching tools. Batching tools now is at version 1.3. What you see here is the old version. I have made a small scene that demonstrates the features of the new version. In this demonstration I will show how we can use batching tools to improve the FPS count of this simple scene. I have marked all the objects that make the track as static. You see here all of them, and I have also marked the background as static. If we go at the player settings, I use static batching. So this demonstration is about the performance in Unity Pro with static batching. Here we see, let's say about 20 milliseconds the camera render and 10 milliseconds the overhead. I will write this down here: Unity Pro, static, camera render 20 milliseconds and overhead 10 milliseconds. Okay. Now I will deselect static batching. So now it is the same as Unity Free. We see that the performance here changes a lot. Let's say about 28 milliseconds for camera render and 10 milliseconds for the overhead. I will write this down too. 28 and 10. Now I will use the batching tools. To start batching tools, you go to the menu, Game Object, Batching Tools. Here it is. I will briefly explain what those things here do. Combine materials combines the game objects. You open options from this little triangle. If you hover the mouse over some GUI elements, you will see a small tooltip help. Here you give a name for the objects that you want to combine, the maximum atlas size, and expand submeshes if you have a game object that has one mesh and many materials. This is a mesh with many submeshes. To combine it, to batch it, you have first to expand the submeshes, and this is what this little button does. Before starting batching, I will inspect the objects and I will explain some things about what you can combine. So first of all, this background object, I am going to its material. One important thing is that the tiling must be set to 1 and the offset must be set to 0 for batching tools to work. Another important thing is that when you go at the texture, it must be set to clamp. Now, what does this mean? Some 3D models are modeled with UV overlapping, and when you change from repeat to clamp, it is visible in the Unity editor because they change. This one is without UV overlapping. If you have 3D models that use UV overlapping, you must change them in order to work with batching tools. Another important thing is the size. So this skybox has this dimension. I remember this 256 by 256. I am going to the track. Every piece of the track has the same texture. Here again, tiling 1, 1 and offset 0, 0. I go to the texture. It is also 256 by 256 and I zoom it so you can see it better. If I change it from clamp to repeat, it stays the same. So those models are good to go. Okay, since I have two textures that are 256 by 256 each, I will go to the options and I will select maximum atlas size 512. Now why? Let's see here. This is the texture atlas. If I select the maximum atlas size to be 512, that means that my two 256 textures, this one and this one, fits here. One here, another here. So I select the top hierarchy object, the track, and the background, and I hit combine materials. And now batching tool makes texture atlas, combine meshes, etc. So you see here there are some artifacts. To get rid of them, you go to the created texture atlas and you offset it by 0, 1, and here they go. Okay, now we will measure the performance. We go at the player settings and here you see that we have static batching. We have not selected it. That means that the results are equivalent with Unity Free. I hit play. And you see here, not much changed, but I go here and I use BTStatic, the new batching mode. And here you go up, sorry, you see here that the camera render has been reduced to about 40 milliseconds and the overhead, let's say it's still 10. So I write down this here with BTStatic, Unity Free, 14 milliseconds and overhead 10 milliseconds. Now we'll go back to the player settings, player, put static batching on. So this is equivalent to, excuse me, this is equivalent to Unity Pro. I go at the combined objects, select BTStatic, and you see here that again we have much better results. Let's say about 30 milliseconds for camera render and 10 for overhead. I go back here and write it down. So what that BTStatic does? It actually is just a single mesh with a single material that combines all those objects that you have selected. Now, here there is a little button, bake. What does this mean? If you're happy with standard Unity batching, you press bake and it destroys the BTStatic combined objects. If you're happy with BTStatics, I will press bake, and now it have destroyed the meshes of all the other objects, but if I had collider information in them, it would be intact. I haven't, and it keeps only this one. So now when I hit play, again, here you see, here you see the results. The good thing about batching tools is that if you are not happy with the results, you go back to the original combined objects, press reset, and here you see as it was at the beginning. So why is this important? Because let's say that I want to make a change. I go here at the track and I want to add another two objects, straight objects. So I select this and this, move it a little, this and this, duplicate it, I move it here with vertex snapping, okay, this and this, vertex snapping, let's see, let's try again, vertex snapping, clack. Alright, this one now. Okay, let's see the game view. Not bad. I will move the camera just a little so it fits it. Okay, so I just select what I want to combine again. Game, object, batching tools, options, 512, combined objects, no problem. I combine them. So I make changes and the results can be immediately combined. If you do it with a 3D modeling excuse me, application, that would take some more time. Alright, good. So now I will just change it to BTStatic, bake it, and now I will show you another two options. The first one is export the mesh. I select the game object that contains the mesh I want to export. Assets, export mesh from game object. I just select the assets folder, choose, and now it is exported here. If something needs to be adjusted, you can use the Unity importer to adjust it as you wish. Another option is that you can export the texture. This is the texture atlas that Batching Tools created. You go to Assets, Export Texture, okay, apply, whatever, and you just, I can save it where I want. Cancel. Okay, another thing, you can export the mesh that you created. For example, this one. You see it here. To export it, you just select the game object that contains the mesh you want to export. Go to Menu, Assets, Export Mesh from Game Object. And you select where you want to save it. I select the Assets folder, click Choose. And it is here. You can use the Unity model importer to change what you want. The normals, the tangents, etc. Another option, you can save the materials. Okay, another two options. If you want to save the mesh that you created as an object file, you just select Menu, Assets, Export Mesh from Game Object. I select the Assets folder, and you see it here. Revealing Finder. Here it is as an object file. Now I can also save a texture like this one. This is the texture atlas that Batching Tools created. To save it, you select the texture, you go Assets, Export Texture, Apply. Let's save over the desktop, save, and here it is. Good. Okay, another thing you can do is to save the mesh that you created. Here, this one, you just select the game object that contains the mesh, go to Assets, Export Mesh from Game Object, and you just select a folder. Models. Choose. And now if I go to Models, here it is as an object file. You can also save the texture. You select it and go to Assets, Export Texture, again at the Models, save. It is already there. Anyway, this is how to do it. Okay. Now if we go back to those results, you see here that there is an almost 50% improvement. Now don't get fooled. This is not for every scene. This is not the solution for everything. In this particular case, it helped. It cannot help in every case. For more information on batching, go to the Unity site. Read about it, so you can understand what the benefits are and how you can achieve the best results. That being said, if you want to batch something, I believe that Batching Tools can help you. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.